Good morning. This video is going to be a little bit different. We'll talk about how cold it gets up here all the time. And at the time of making this video, we're back into the cold temperatures again at 24 below zero. But I thought I'd show you some of the stuff I have to deal with when it gets cold. Some of the things that could go wrong, because there's a few of them that do. And how it's just part of living where I live in Alaska. Since I finished most of what you're going to see here in the recording, the temperature climbed back up again. We had some snow move in. We got back up above zero. And now we're back into the minus 20s for the next 3 or 4 days. And then we might get to zero. I just thought it'd be interesting to share it with you. I'm Sean in Alaska. I hope you enjoy this. Cold. I love remote start. Warms the vehicle up, gets it at least a little bit warmer before I get in. My morning routine here. It's time to trim this up. We're not far away from shaving it off. So one of the problems with running propane heat in the cabin is, I've discussed it before, the byproduct's moisture. That's where most of that frost on the inside of the door is coming from. It's not coming from outside, because the humidity outside is, when it gets this cold, is so low it's ridiculous. One day of burning a wood stove would, obviously, because wood heat is much drier heat. I mean, it's super dry. Would dry that cabin out, no problem at all. Also warm the heck out of it a lot faster, I think. But live and learn, right? I didn't get the wood stove installed last year because it really wasn't on the 911 priority list. I will get it installed this year, definitely. That's what I'm working on now. But I want to do it at the right pace. That's amazing. Powerful the cold is. Stuff breaks in the cold too, so you want to make sure all your maintenance is kept up on all your vehicles and all your equipment, all your motorized stuff that you're going to use outside, especially if you're storing it outside, like vehicles, that kind of stuff. The snow blower. Although I really haven't needed that lately. Man, when it gets cold, stuff breaks. If I'm not going anywhere at the cabin, if I'm off work and I'm not going anywhere, and it gets cold, I will start the vehicle. Even though I'm just sitting at home, I'll start it. I can start it twice with my key for my remote start, which will run at about 25 minutes. Gives it a chance to warm up and keep everything going. When it's brutally cold, when we get into the minus 20s, 25 below zero, close to 30 below zero, I'll start the vehicle actually just before I go to bed. So I'll get home from work, I'll start the vehicle. And then I might wake up halfway through the night and start the vehicle again, because I don't have a plug-in. I have block heaters and everything on here from when I was living over in back of Brother Will's property, and I actually had electricity, but I don't have that now. Not in my place. And I haven't for 4 winters now. When I was in the trailer, I didn't have it, and that I will ever worry about plugging in again. It's an inconvenience to have to wake up and do that, but you know, it's so much cheaper because those block heaters use a lot of power. They use a lot of power. So it's 21 below zero now. We'll pop the camera up and show you if it gets colder. Well, 22 below zero. But I'll turn the camera back on when we hit the cold spot of the road. It gets a tad chilly out here in Funny River. Always colder on the drive in. So normally when I get to town, it's a great deal warmer than out there in Funny River. But as you can tell, it's not that much warmer right now. It's 17 below zero. We're warmer in the summer in Funny River, and we're colder in the winter out there because we're that much further removed from the water. Anyway, I'm in town, and I'll stop off and get coffee, and get myself started for work today. So I just got home from work, and I wanted to show you why you don't leave any liquid containers in your vehicle here in Alaska. So I bought this water yesterday morning, and I forgot I had it in the truck, and this morning I went to grab it and take a swig out of it, but that's not going to happen. Temperature's warmed up. It's about 4 below zero here right now, and we look like we're going to get brutally cold next week. This is nothing. So saw 24 below zero this morning on the way in to work, but the temperature forecasted for next Tuesday morning, and right now it's Wednesday, so it's a week out, it can change, is 21 below zero. So we are in a serious cold streak. We'll see what happens. I am Sean in Alaska, and I just got home, so let's go see how warm the cabin is. I wanted to take you over here real quick before I went inside too, to show you that this is becoming an issue. So I'm probably going to have to get a saw out and cut those stairs off, because that side is really heaving. I mean, now we're looking at almost 6 inches there. Over here, not as bad. This might have reached its limit for how high it's going to go, because it doesn't look like it's come up much more. But that other side is really popped up. I don't know if you can tell, but everything is kind of leaning this way now. It really ramps up right there. All right, so inside now, upstairs is 64, downstairs 58, and my temperature gauge here, let's turn the light on. Says we're at -5. I don't know if you can see that or not. There we go, 5 below zero. So much more comfortable when I walked in today compared to yesterday. Yesterday was really chilly. It cost me a lot more to keep the place warm this time of year, but it's well worth it. I you know, after the misery I've had for the last few years living in that stupid trailer, this is so much worth it. All right, well, I'm going to get the generator and fire it up. I keep it inside. Right, I keep it inside when I'm not using it, so that when I go take it outside to start it up, I don't have any issues at all. And then it's got a vent on top. I've had people concerned in the past, right? That gray button right there is a vent on top, where before I bring it in, I shut that vent so that we don't have any gas fumes coming up inside. There was some beeping going on when I came in, and that's because one of my batteries has died down to the point where it needs to be put on the charger. And that's just the battery that I use to keep everything else charged up. So it's not the battery for the lights or anything. But yeah, this is running the buddy heater on medium here for the big one. So only one burner there. And I ran that one on low. Yeah, so this one's on low, on the lowest setting, so I can actually turn that up. This one will go for, on low, it'll go for 4 or 5 days on one bottle. This one on medium will go for about 2.5 days. So I'll double check that, but I just changed the bottle on that one yesterday. And then, you know, at this point, it's just making sure I stay ahead of the propane. So I think I discussed it before. I haven't been putting these blankets down. And mainly it's because of this right here. So if you don't get the air circulation, the frost buildup is just crazy. I mean, if you look at that, it's just phenomenal. The reason why I have them down right now is because it does keep the inside warmer. I might pull them up and let them thaw out a bit, though. I don't like all that building up on there. There's nothing I can do about it. There is absolutely nothing. So that, what you see right there, is actually foam, spray foam. That, on the other sand, is ice. That is not behind the vapor barrier. That is on top of the vapor barrier, as well as that one, and that one, and that one, right over in the corner there. I don't have any on the front of the cabin at all, and I don't have any on the back of the cabin at all, although that area does trap heat in. But again, same thing down here. It's on the outside, and then the door, which we all know doesn't seal properly. But for some reason, I don't have any up here at all, and I would have expected to have it there. But I do have some down there as well. Again, there's not much I can do about that at this time. If I had the wood stove working, I would definitely have a lot drier air in here. That's a byproduct of the propane, the moisture is, and there's nothing that I can do about it at this point. And it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. With that said, I'm going to do what I usually do when I come home and it's cold and I can't really be outside doing a lot of stuff, and that's edit video and, you know, work on some stuff here in the cabin, start planning some other stuff out. This morning's weather is 10 below as I'm just getting ready, just heading down the road here. And foggy. Saturday is supposed to be pretty brutal. I saw a stretch where we're supposed to be down to like 25 below, which means out here close to 30 or 32 below zero. But that looks like it's gone from the forecast, which is good. So we're looking at 21 below on Saturday for a cold temperature. When you get into these cold sets like this, it's crazy. It just never seems like it's going to end. All right, I'm on my way to work. I'm going to listen to an audiobook on the way in, grab a cup of coffee, and start this day. Just stopped off here at the feed store to get some propane. And they've got feed on sale. They always seem to have feed on sale in January, which is awesome. So I picked up some 20% layer pellets, and then I bought a bag of scratch, which is cracked corn. Because even though we are chilly, and we haven't even gone above zero yet today, it's still 6 below zero here in Kenai at noon. Well, yeah. It's supposed to get real cold in the next week. So we're going to have a week or more. I didn't look at the extended forecast of some seriously cold weather. And I haven't done it before, but everything I've read, and I need to get better at what I know about chickens if I'm going to continue to keep them. But everything that I've read has said that you'd never want to give your chickens corn in the summer because it raises their body temperature. So corn is something that you feed them in the winter. So that's what I did. I picked up a little 5-pound bag of that. Kind of supplement their diet a little. Give them treats. See how they like it. It's a beautiful day today. Crystal clear, obviously, because it's so cold. Every time I look at the temperatures, they just keep changing. So Saturday's supposed to be 23 below zero. And that's the low temperature, right? But the high temperature is below zero. And then Sunday or Wednesday is supposed to be 25 below zero. And then the rest of the week is, you know, in the 20s below zero all week. So it's Alaska. I can't complain. Normally we have a pretty good cold spell before this point of the year. But it's the end of January, so we've only got maybe a month more of brutal weather, and then we start to warm up. The days start to get quite a bit longer, and they get longer faster, and then we'll be alone. I think I've got all the errands done that I want to do today. Tomorrow when I get off of work, I'll probably swing by the orange store and pick up some lumber so that I can do the roof on or the ceiling in the kitchen. And I'm not working on the mortar for the wood stove, you know, from behind the wood stove yet, because it's too cold. And I don't know enough about it to know if that's a problem or not, but because I don't know enough about it, I'm not going to take the risk. I want it to warm up a little bit before I start laying the mortar on that wall.
Chicky chicks, how are you, ladies? Hello, my ladies, how are you? Hello, girl. Be right back. I'll give it a treat. Chickens are hardy animals. Hello, my girls. How are you? Want a treat? Good food. I'll get you your treat. A 5-pound bag of scratch. I'll bring the camera over here so you can watch them. Hey, girls. Hello. Here we go. Ready? Come on. Come over here. Over here, me on the camera. Let everybody see what you look like. Hello! Hello, girls. How are you? Hi, let me get you out of the way. Get out of the way here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still have 15 chickens. Their combs look pretty good, even though we've had some pretty decent cold lately. They don't look to be any worse for wear. They do like their treats. Hi! Hi, pretty girl. Whoopee. What was all that about? No angry chickens. Let me get out of here and then I'll open up the gate so everybody can watch you guys pecking around. Move. I know. Well, you guys can all get back to it in a minute. Hang on, you can all get back to it in a minute. Oh, there we go. Where are you going, little one? Where are you going, little one? Come on. Tough animals. Chickens are tough. They are crazy strong. Alright, leave them alone. Alright, Will's got his treats right there. And then these are black oil sunflower seeds. Maybe I'll take a cup of those out there too. Sprinkle those in. At this point, I'm all about kicking that protein up so that they can stay as warm as possible. All right. So one of the nice things. There we go. One of the nice things about working the shift that I work is when I get home, it's going to be the warmest part of the day. So even though it's bitter cold out there, it's still warmer than it will be later on tonight or than it was this morning. Weekends are pretty cold, pretty chilly. But it's nice to get out there and throw that stuff out for the chickens, see how they're doing, top off their feed. One thing I found with my birds is that they like to be busy. They like to have things to do. So when you throw all that stuff down there on top of the ice and snow and the straw, they get out there and they play with it and they stay active, and that's good for them to keep moving around. Just like anybody else, I guess it'd be good for us to keep moving around too. I'm gonna go ahead and finish uploading this video here, and then probably getting stuff ready for dinner for tonight. And there's not going to be much more to show you today. If anything comes up, I'll go ahead and turn the camera back on. When I switch these bottles over, which will probably be right about the time I go to bed, I'll have 2 propane bottles to fill up tomorrow, which is good because that'll carry me through the weekend without any problem at all. I thought about buying a bigger bottle today, but it would basically just add a day's worth. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on that yet because I'm going to obviously have a bigger bottle when I put the stove in and then I run the gas line and everything else. But this is just going to get me through this winter, and then obviously, you know, I'll have the heater, the little heater for backup, just in case I need it. I might leave it on low when I'm at work, that kind of stuff, once I get the wood stove going. But I don't really need it right now. Still toasty warm in here. Still comfy in the cabin. I love it. One of the things I've fought for the last couple of years, besides keeping myself warm, is keeping a floor warm. So I could not leave this jug of water on the floor in the trailer. It would have frozen solid, and it did multiple times. Same thing with water. So when you're living off-grid in Alaska, in the brutal cold temperatures that we get, a lot of times you'll have to keep stuff off the floor that you're concerned about freezing, but with the R30 insulation that I put in the floor, it seems to be working really, really well. I'm very happy with that. And I don't have any issues with anything freezing on the floor, which is super important. Okay. What are we looking at this morning? 12 below before we start moving. Tomorrow's going to be cold. I don't know that it's even going to warm up at all today. We'll see. We'll see. I got the one partially emptied and one completely emptied propane bottle in there. I'll fill them up after work today. I'm off. It's a chilly day when I get to town, and it's colder than it was at home. 21 below zero, so this cold front's moving in right now. Tomorrow is going to be brutal. Absolutely brutal on my day off. Maybe I'll go out and play. So one of the things that's, I guess, a bonus of having temperatures this cold is that I can see where I have air leaks, and it's around windows and doors, and I kind of knew that was going to happen because I didn't get everything closed in and sealed off properly yet. But if you look right there, see that steam right there? That's moisture from the cabin and air from the cabin leaking out. And it got my attention because if you look up top there, you'll see where that moisture is accumulating on that outside rafter. It's pretty, but it needs to stop. So I'm probably going to go ahead and see about a piece of vapor barrier. I have another roll. See about a piece of vapor barrier hung up over that window there and just tape the whole thing off all the way around. But yeah, crazy, huh? It's because when it gets this cold outside, and it's 26 below zero right now out there. That's a better view of what the frost is doing. When it gets this cold outside, there's no humidity in the air, so you can actually see that stuff, the moisture going out. I better fix that today. So I can see where part of it has, or I can see where part of it's caused by. But I think what I'll do here is I think I've got an issue going all the way around. That's all coming off in the spring anyway, so I don't really care about that. But I've cut it down drastically. We'll have to do a better job of sealing this up come springtime. I mean, I knew these windows weren't closed in, but let me get the cell phone and I'll show you. So you saw how much was rolling off it before. I still have an air leak right there on this one. I don't see anything coming out of here. So this window looks pretty good. Let me go over to the other side. That was a big frost leak right there. Obviously you can see because it built up that moisture coming out. There's a little bit still coming out on the top. Not as much. We'll have to see. I think that did a great deal of good to get that set up the way that I did. I don't know why I didn't think about taping this earlier other than the fact that I like to open the window on occasion and get some fresh air in my face when it's not 26 below zero. Let's go down and take a look at the door. So this is going to require a different solution completely. And I can feel airflow coming through here. Again, I've talked about this before. The door is not sealed properly. I knew that. And the doorknob is definitely not sealed properly. But I can't tape this up because, you know, I go in and out of here. So I might have to dig out a blanket because I don't have, let me move the camera up and show you. I don't have any airflow up here, which kind of amazes me. Right? I can't feel any cool air up here at all. Nothing down here. And then right about here is where I can feel that cold air coming in. Right here is where it starts. And part of that is because obviously air is going to circulate, right? So if it can go out of the top, it's going to come in somewhere. And this is the area where it's coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and probably use the same solution I used in the trailer for this and put a blanket over here, and I can attach it up here to the very top. And then the blanket's not going to do much more than just kind of put another little barrier between where the air's coming in and the rest of the room. So it's not going to stop the air from coming in. I need to get, when spring hits again, I need to fix this door. But it'll slow that flow in. I'll go ahead and I'll grab the cell phone and show you how much ice I have built up on the windows. And I discussed it before about, you know, anytime you close off circulation, you're going to get ice buildup. In this case, we're getting ice buildup because the door's not sealed properly. But let me show you the windows down here and show you how much ice buildup we have on those. It's kind of shocking. All right, you ready for this? This is crazy. Look at that ice. That's probably out a half an inch now. This whole window, it's starting to thaw out a bit because the sun's hitting it from the other side. So I'm going to raise these blankets up. But we'll have this, I'm sure we'll have the same thing over here on this window. Yep. Right? Ice everywhere. Let me go ahead and raise those windows or those blankets up, even though it's a little bit cooler and it's not really heat efficient to do so because I want to see if I can't get some of that off. I did put a screw in on the top up there just so I would have something to hook these up to. There we go. How are we doing? Oh, that blanket is frozen to the windshield or to the window. I can get a better idea what kind of ice we have on there. By no means, I probably should explain something else to you here too. So this is nothing to do with what I did construction-wise in the cabin. Obviously, you know, I'm not an expert, so I didn't seal it 100% properly like I should have. But the difference in temperature right now is outside, we still have 26 degrees below zero, right? Upstairs, well, downstairs, we have 63 degrees. So the temperature's already come up since I sealed that window. Upstairs, the temperature is 73. So 73, 83, 93, and 6. It is 99 degrees warmer upstairs in the loft right now than it is outside. 99 degrees warmer. And then, what did I say was down here? 63, 73, 83, 89? Is that right? Yeah, it is 89 degrees warmer here right now inside this cabin than it is outside there. So this is so, I mean, look at me. I'm running around and I'm wearing my sleeping shorts. These are the shorts I just wear when I sleep, and socks on the floor. This I could not have done in the trailer last year. This I could not have done in the trailer any year that I've lived up here. So, all right. Well, I didn't start the truck. I left it unstarted for a bit longer than I should have, so I've had it plugged in. For a bit on the generator. Come on, baby. Please start. All right, no luck. I don't have much longer that I can leave it though before I have to make a call and do something. But I'm gonna get the snow off the top of it, pop up the hood, and probably plug in my battery charger to make sure that it's got a decent charge. That might help too. So we'll give that a try and see what can happen. But I hate when I do this. I know better. I know better than to wait and not start the vehicle when it's this cold. All right, well, it's going. It took me stealing the other extension cord and bringing the charger outside and plugging the charger into it as well, which is what usually ends up happening, and it's on me. 100% on me, but it's running. I'm going to leave it running for probably about 20 or 30 minutes, then drive over to Brother Will's house, catch a shower, leave it running while I'm over there, drive it back home, and then we should be good to go. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I always forget. And it just totally spaced me, right? So this morning, I got up 4 o'clock this morning, and I should have just started the truck like I normally would, because it would have started right away then. I know it would have. But I waited that extra 6 hours until almost 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning before I tried to start it. And so the good thing about it is everything that I have that's battery operated in the house now, because my generator's been running all day, is fully charged. I'm telling you, man, you live in the cold and stuff just breaks down. The charger's not doing that good right now either, though. The battery charger that I have, I've had it for a while, right? Yeah, it's been a while since I bought that. So I'll probably pick up another one, just because it's good to have a backup for that kind of stuff. That said, I'm probably just going to end this video now. I am Sean in Alaska. Thank you guys for watching the madness that happens up here in the cold in winter. And we hope to get back to building here in the next week or two. I've got some lumber, like I said, stuck up on a pile over there, ready for the next project, and just keep moving forward a little bit at a time. But I'm trying to enjoy myself too at the same time. I hope you guys enjoy yourself as well. Have a great week. I'm Sean in Alaska, and talk to you later.
Holy smokes, that is officially the coldest temperature of the year so far. 30 below zero. Burr.